Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. We're back after another little hiatus. Hey, when there's not a lot to talk about, we're not going to do a show about nothing. But we do have a patch coming up this coming Tuesday, and it's going to be a really important one. So we're going to do something a little different, a little bit of a pre-patch show. No patch notes or anything to go over, but we're going to be talking about the content that's coming, how we feel about it, what our expectations are, what our reservations are about. We're just going to have a little pre-patch discussion. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy, and of course, joining me is Sly. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I drank the last of the coffee before.
Don't die. Don't die.
If I don't die, we have a good reason not to have a show. I mean, if I die, then we just have a reason not to have the show at least. You know, people will be like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah.
Well, he's dead. He choked on coffee. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. How you doing?
Great. Been enjoying my latest addiction, which is Hades 2.
Nice.
Of course, I'll also done, the chicken tenders, savage.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
And a little bit of Sonic Crossroads.
I heard it's really
Crossworlds. It is like, I would say that it is actually better. It's better than Mario Kart.
There you go. I mean, I had a feeling. I mean, I'm just glad to see Sega playing to their strengths for once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sonic been on a bit of an upswing the last few years, so seeing their last couple of racing games weren't super great. So glad to see.
All Stars was okay.
It was okay, but like the recent Mario Karts blew it away. Like it was like swept under the rug kind of racing game. Whereas this is, it's got Joker, it's got Hatsune Miku, they've got Mega Man. I thought it was wild to see fucking Proto Man coming out. I was like, that's a fucking blast. I thought they were gonna do Zero or something, or I mean, honestly, I think the bigger thing would have been Bass, if Bass had somehow been included. But they would have had to have done. I mean, I guess if they did a skin for Mega Man for what's it called, Battle Network, it would have made sense. But they've got Ichiban. Yeah, I mean, like they've just. It's like I said, glad to see Sega playing to their strengths, but we have a decent amount to talk about. But before we do that, we actually don't have a sponsor for this show, Sly. But I'm going to use the footage from this for a sponsored video because I have had this on my desk, this magic spoon on my desk for like literally the whole. I brought it up to eat this morning and then I never ate it. And I was like, as we were waiting for the show, I was like, I should really eat that at some point. And I was like, oh, I'll eat it on the thing. And then I'll use it as a thing for the ad later, but not for this. This one's not sponsored. Maybe the next one will be. Maybe the next day the realm will be, but There's no link to this in the description, but this is the last one. I was supposed to record a sponsored thing for this, and I've eaten all of them except one. So this is the last one. It's hard to resist, man. These things are good. It's a treat bar, like a protein treat bar, blueberry flavored.
Ooh.
This is the number one thing I recommend if people buy Magic Spoon, because it's the best thing. The problem is I don't want to talk with my mouth full, but I kind of have to.
But you are.
But I kind of have to. It's okay.
Perfect sponsor.
We'll get there.
Perfect sponsorship.
When you're talking, well, I mean, yeah, I'll Badman ask for a sponsor. I don't care.
Yeah,
my sponsor.
It's just nice B-roll. It's nice B-roll.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's going to be used for. It's going to be used. You'd be like, yeah, I'll eat them in the middle. I'll eat them in the middle of a podcast if I'm hungry. It's perfect. You know who is sponsoring, of course, Steel Series. They are actually, of course, sponsoring. I have something with them coming up. Teaser. And then, of course, patrons over on Patreon who support. They don't have to. Content's available for free. There's nothing paywalled, but grateful all the same. All right.
Yes.
So I've skipped the show for a couple of weeks. We've been busy with the monumental number of titles that have come out in September going into October. And how have you been managed? Before we'll talk about Monster Hunter X14, both sides of it soon. We'll talk about Pilgrim's Traverse coming out. We'll talk about Quantum. But first, how has your gaming log looked over the past several weeks?
Jesus fucking Christ. I still haven't even finished Super Robot Wars. Why? I mean, that's just a big game in general. There's a lot of missions and everything, and I still need to get back to that. But yeah, once Hades came out, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely doing Hades. And then, Sonic Crossworlds came out, and like, yeah, well, let's do some Sonic. Let's do some racing. And that turned out to be fun. So that's like a good distraction every now and then. And then, of course, Monster Hunter came out with the title update. So we had to do that. I had to do some prep because my armor set was old. So I did a little bit of prep, got a new armor set, pretty much ready until you get in and you're not ready until do it a few times and you kind of get used to it. But yeah. So now, we're at this point where, Pilgrim's Verse is about to come out and everything. So that's going to add to the list, the ever growing list. Hell, Ghost of Yote just came out and I don't even,
oh my God,
I can't even make the time. Yeah, I can't even make the time. I want to, but God, I want to, like, where am I going to get the time? Because next week I'm going to Texas.
You sure are.
So,
yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later too. I got something to say about that. I'm not going to tell you not to go, but I'll leave it for later. Yeah, Yote in particular. I read that it's Tsushima, but better story. That's what I've been told. Generally speaking, it's largely the same, but the story is a better told. So, if you enjoyed the first one, you have every reason to enjoy the second one, I suppose.
Good.
But if we're going to talk about other games, we of course should probably lead with Monster Hunter, because Omega came out, and big surprise, it's once again a bit divisive of an encounter in Monster Hunter. Behemoth was massively divisive for a couple of reasons. One was the fight itself. The other was the fact that it was a non-Monster Hunter monster, which, so you're the expert on Monster Hunter. So actually, before we get into the 14 specific things of this, didn't the old Monster Hunter games do tons of collaborations? It's just not really something that the mainstream people that have started playing since World Rise.
They've done collaborations in the past, but they weren't as on the nose as 14. What I mean by that is they'll do a collaboration with like a company or something. It'll be in-house. It'll be like the quest and everything will be in-house, meaning just be something from Monster Hunter, but it'll, allude to, I don't know, pick a Japanese company. And that'll pretty much be the end of it. This is the only like real collaboration where it's, hey, we're actually taking from this certain thing, and putting it in the game. So
yeah, it's not like it's more elaborate than, let's say, the Akuma outfit that they had in Wild. Which is the closest I'll ever come to playing Monk, I suppose. They don't want to add. Listen, until they add my fist weapons, the tonfas.
Once they add tonfas,
come on, just do it. Just add the tonfas.
They were in Frontier.
I forgot about Frontier. I forgot about the Leshen from Witcher, which I shouldn't have forgotten because the Witcher event's notable for being the way to get attack jewels after the one guaranteed one you get, because we all know they otherwise didn't exist. I don't care what anyone says.
It exists.
Yeah. But the Omega fight, I've done it. I did normal. I think it took 3 tries to get through normal, and then I put like maybe 4 or 5 attempts into Savage and got to the phase change, a little bit into the phase change. So not really the last phase. I'd say the last screen when you jump down is realistically last phase. But I thought it was fantastic, both as someone who's played a bunch of Monster Hunter and as someone who's played 14. I feel like it's way better done than Behemoth, in my opinion. The fight's more fun a little bit. Yeah, I think everything is just better, which is good, because if you're going to have a giant robot in a monster hunting game, then you really want it to, you better make sure it's good. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. How did you end up handling that? How have your hunts been going?
Again, it took a little bit longer for normal, but we still got through. And then, as far as Savage, I've seen the final phase. I've been down in that final area, and like I said, we died to MRV. So, like it'll be hit or miss. So, like, you'll have some runs where some kind of bullshit happens. Like, for example, mustard bombs. Those are a thing.
I'm
so
sorry, we call
the
those
fire persists.
mustard bombs.
Mustard.
Trying to keep it down a little bit so he's in the middle of something, but I had to do it.
So I'll have like it was just one bad run where I was dodging shit and I somehow managed to be in front of the mustard bomb fire, and then like there's a missile, so I have to guard the missile, and he just did another missile and knocked me back into the fire.
Unfortunate.
So yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, for me it was I got charged into laser. I got charged into getting stunned into getting lasered. There was no way I was even remotely going to be able to get out of that. And that was our last life. I don't remember how we lost the other lives. I don't think I was a part of losing any of the other lives, but yeah, I was running with a few people. I was running with Mary, actually.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Mary, Whoops, and Lav. So yeah, Mary had done it with support hunters, which from what I'm hearing is kind of the way to do it. Apparently support hunters are
it is apparently. So I kind of had this thought when I first started doing this. I'm like, really? So Yoshi P is teaching Monster Hunter about Party Finder, huh?
Yeah, it's literally the difference between doing a dungeon with trusts and a dungeon without trust. It's like the trust will never die. So if you die, if you wipe, it's on you. And the rest is, No,
because like again with the support hunters, they can eventually be replaced by real people.
Yeah, but you don't want that. That's my understanding. My understanding
my real people runs. My real people runs have been good.
If you're good enough, then the support hunters are your higher probability than like SOSing, as chat saying, for example, and getting randos. Mm-hmm. I've just been hearing, like, that's Mary. I know he did it with SOSs. I've been reading a ton of other claims where people are doing it specifically with SOSs and just being like, just don't even bother with other people because the SOSs won't die. So you just need to get good.
I actually have a little bit more trust for the SOSs because most of the SOSs I've been getting were JP. So
JP wins.
Yeah. JP wins.
Oh man. Yeah, that's I guess it just depends. I mean, everyone's gonna have different experience, but and
then of course you pray to get like in the SOSs you pray to get a hunting horn because that is just a god run. Like all the hunting horn runs have been so smooth until something fucking happens. But like all the time I'm like praying for a hunting horn. Like, dude, like it just makes everything better. You don't take that much fucking damage from the normal, like him running you over or anything. Hell, like you don't take a lot of damage from that, and it's just you do more damage, and it's just perfect. I thank our hunting horn users out there. We praise you. Thank you.
Yeah, apparently I was gonna say the same thing. Apparently, hunting horn is the fastest solo on Savage, which I'd imagine just because you can be more up in his face a lot, like just a lot more frequently. Yeah. So it plays a pretty good role. Raid out hunting horn with fire resist that does thunder damage. Yeah, I wish I haven't played much, so I didn't have great equipment for this. I had like 391 defense and no thunder weapons. I had a dragon weapon instead because I think that's the second highest weakness I was told is dragon behind thunder. It worked out fine. It was just the hammer is it's hammer. It is what it is.
It's hammer.
Everyone's like, bro, just. Hunting horn is just a hammer that's better. Just play that instead. It's just a hammer that toots. You should really. It's not the same though. It's just not the same. But glad to see. I'm not crazy about honestly, the Picto Soul was probably the one thing I actually wanted most, and you just kind of picked that up immediately. I love the Picto Soul. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty good damage.
Never really used it. I'm like, I have it in my loadout. I just never really used it.
I use it on cooldown. Dude, we were all prepping Mog of the Ages for the Nursilla. Just fucking 4 laser beams as soon as the Nursilla. And then if you hit a Malboro, you just bring all the Malboros and the Cactars over to the Nursilla, and you're like, all right, here we go. Yeah, Mog of the Ages is like up to like I've seen it. I think with a hunting horn you would do like probably 1,300 or something, I'd imagine, but it does like at least 750, usually like 900 to 1,000 if you have any amount of buffs. And then the other ones all do like 600 ish around, I think. One of my favorite things is you can actually, if you see the fist, if you see the target line for the fist coming out, you can start using any of the Picto abilities. Well, I'm sorry, if you use not Mog of the Ages, but you can use one of the other two, and it'll just kill all the fists as they fly out of the top of Omega. It's really good. So the Picto Soul is definitely the most fun I had. I had someone in my Discord who was like, I'm actually convinced that this is the worst version of TBN because at least I can move in Final Fantasy 14 while I'm using. I was like, damn. I heard it was pretty good. I don't know. It was a skill issue. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about TBN. I haven't seen anybody use Shadowbringer yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I've heard a few different things about TBN and its usability. Maybe it could be about its usability in other hunts, though. I'm not sure, but I heard it was good. I heard it was very good. Yeah. So that's just my impression. But well, it's fun to talk about the Monster Hunter equivalent. That wasn't the only thing that has happened. We actually did have a full panel on the Final Fantasy 14 side. I haven't watched it to avoid spoilers, but they did kill normal mode Guardian Arkfeld on stream. I only clicked around to like try to click through it. I was just like, oh, okay, they probably just show a few minutes. And I saw the health bar and I'm like, they just did the whole fight. They just killed it. They wiped once, but they did just decide to kill it. So we do know as much as we can know about normal mode if you have actually watched it, but they did go over a handful more things. We have seen the extended rewards list, the full rewards list, or seemingly the full rewards list. I think it is, and they weren't kidding. There are a lot of rewards. Have you peeped the reward page?
I have not.
I would peep it right now. There's one thing not on there that I'm very disappointed about, but the thing we get in exchange for that, I think, is funnier and is kind of a better reward in its own sense. But it's a pretty extensive list of things between furnishings, weapons, mounts, minions, parasol, framers. There's a lot. Let me know when you have the full the reward page up.
Okay.
I'd assume you're looking at it and scrolling down. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff there. They definitely did a lot more than they did for Rathalos. Rathalos was 2 armor sets that nobody liked, and
why is it the Hope armor set though? Why can't it be the Arkfeld? Because it looks so fucking badass, but we get weapons. The fuck?
That's why. It's because it was always going to be weapons or armor, I feel. Like it was always going to be one or the other.
Oh god. I mean, the Hope armor set is what you start out with.
Yeah,
it's
the thing is that it looks like the Viper AF. Effectively, it's like a hooded, slightly different designed Viper AF, which is one of the reasons why the crossover kind of works in the first place.
Arkfeld says ass. You look like a big ass Viking.
Yeah. Okay, so there's actually 2 disappointments then. I didn't care because everyone gets a weapon, and apparently then there's an extreme weapon as well. I don't know. That's weird to me. I don't know if it's going to glow or if it's just higher item level. Yeah, you saw the mount, didn't you?
Wait.
Yeah, I think you just saw the mount.
No, not the mount.
Wait, what?
No, not the mount. Not the mount. Wait. Dragoon gets the gun lance? Let's fucking go.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
yes!
Dragoon gets the gun lance.
Yes! Let's fucking go!
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, my favorite Sage is 4 tiny hunting horns for the new list. I think that's the funniest one.
Oh, man.
That it's just straight up 4 tiny hunting horns. Yeah, they did. We actually did get to see a few. That's one of the things that they showed on the live stream is they showed a handful of the weapons. They showed some of the ones we had already seen on the site, but they showed Sage, they showed Dragoon, and all the Arcveld weapons that they showed look great. I think everyone should be pleased. They pulse a little bit with their animation. You know, they have that like Arcveld. You know, they have the Guardian glow that he has for a thing. So that was it was really good, but. One of the disappointments for some people would be the armor set. Like you said, it's an incredibly, I think the best looking set probably in Wilds. I think many would argue that it's probably the best looking set. But the other is there's no Guardian Arcveld mount on that page. I was definitely hoping for a Guardian Arcveld mount, but I'm also not in any way disappointed with the other mount that they went with. I want you to scroll to the mount section. It's on there. There is a second mount on there. And there's a picture of it if you go to the mount section. I'll wait. There's a sacred.
This is on the
reward
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, this is on the reward page you're on. If you go to mounts, there should be 2 images there instead of 1. It should be like a toggle to the second one. And if not, it's listed on the items. You'll see it on the item list. It should be under the weapons, I think. Like if you keep scrolling past the weapons.
Mounts.
Yeah, he saw it. It's such a good mount. It's such a good mount. The cart. I was like, you know what? I'm upset that there's no Guardian Arcveld mount, but there's no way I'm going to be upset at getting a cart as a
getting
mount.
Carted. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course it flies, which is also as hilarious, you know, like any other mount.
Oh my God.
The free Yamcha pose mount. It's perfect. Now, the only thing that I think they did wrong with it, they actually did screw one thing up.
Okay.
Because they didn't do it on the live stream, so I don't think it does this. And if it does, great. There's no mount action to throw you off of it. Like they do when you actually get carded. Because like we have a dismount animation from Cloud of Darkness with the PvP tile. You use it and then you fall off of it. I would have loved if they had the flip when when you use the mount action for it. I didn't see. I maybe I just don't remember, but I don't think it has it. That would have been the icing on the cake. But still a really good mount. But there's like outdoor furnishings, indoor furnishings. There's framer kits. They definitely didn't. They weren't lying about the number of rewards. But that's actually an interesting point, Sly, because one of the biggest things we've talked about since literally people are tired of hearing me talk about it is rewards for everything.
Yes.
That is a great extensive list of rewards. Weapons for every jobs, harder versions of them. We don't know if they're just dyeable. We don't know if they're like just higher item level. We don't know what the function is, but they are weapons for every jobs, way better than the last one. There's 2 mounts, there's 2 minions, there's framer kits, I think there's like a handful of orchestrion rolls. It's great. They did a lot of stuff reward-wise. But the only thing I've seen people focusing on are the lack of an Arcveld mount and the lack of an armor set. And it's like those are the only 2 things that I even see people really talking about. So it really goes to say, what, like, is there no, like, placation that can be had with rewards? Is there always going to be something that's technically missing and that everyone just if hard focuses on? Like,
think
it feels that way.
Right? Honestly think so. I think it's like there's no good medium for this. Like where everyone's content, you know? So
well, I mean, let's say we did get the armor set and the mount, then no one would have anything to complain about, one would say. But the fact that there's all of that there, and it is a significant amount, but the things that aren't there are the only things being focused on.
And it's only like those are the only slights, so I can't really be mad.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like, I would have loved to have seen those things, but I'm pretty pleased with what is there in the first place. So it's just like, it's crazy, not crazy, it's, a bit much, but it's weird to me to see so much focus on just those 2 things that are, I mean, they're 2 big things, but just those 2 things not being
really big. Yeah.
Obviously, housing items are hard to get excited about because that requires you to have a house, at least for the outdoor ones. For the indoor ones, you're gonna stick them in your. If you really want to cook meat in your apartment, go right ahead. You know, I love a nice Korean barbecue. You know, just go ahead and do that there.
So tasty.
So tasty. Yes. But it's just like, man, I want to be excited about those things, and then it's just everyone. There's just so much focus on those things that aren't there. True, you could put them on your island. There you go. For your outdoor furnishings, just go stick them on your island. They're going in my sanctuary. There you go. See, we just fixed the problem, clearly. That's it. There's a lot of houses opening up right now. You know, you're good. Just go get
Dynamis.
one. Yeah, or just be on Dynamis, you know. There's plenty of options. But it looks cool. Like I said, I avoided the fight. I saw like a few stills of the fight, and I saw a ton of AoE markers. So it looks like it's going to be even just from like 2 or 3 like still images clicking through it. It looks busier than Rathalos, that's for certain.
Thank God, because like again, when we got Rathalos, I'm like, okay, I understand. Rathalos has been a flagship monster. He's kind of been the poster boy of Monster Hunter for quite a while. So I understand the decision. Would I have taken a better monster? Sure. I mean, Nergigante would have probably been a little bit more epic at the time. Yeah. And when I was thinking about like how are they going to do this? Like how is each side going to get like what? For one, I definitely wasn't thinking Omega because I was thinking maybe like
nobody was thinking really go Omega slide. No,
if they really wanted to lean into the whole Monster Hunter content, I would have chosen Bahamut. I definitely would have chosen Bahamut. As far as like what 14 got, yeah, like something, yeah, Arkveld does seem like par for the course. This seems definitely par for the course. If we were going that route in the previous in world, yeah, I would have definitely chosen Nergigante or something more epic. So, yeah, like I feel like they went the right direction in terms of what we get. Like I haven't seen the fight, and I don't want to see it until I do it.
I've only seen a couple of still images because I didn't want to see how they do. Like there's some, we know Arkveld's attacks, but in my mind, so I think while you're right about picking a more iconic monster, I think fundamentally the fights would have been similar if we had Nergigante instead of Rathalos. I think it still would have fundamentally been the no AoE markers, look at the animations, and it kind of would have been like, honestly, it almost would have felt like the same fight, I feel.
Yeah.
So this time I want to see how they flex on, you know, Arkveld, and even just seeing a couple of AoE markers in those. And when I say a couple, I mean, there was a few more than a couple in the few like click throughs that I did. It already just looks like it's a way more chaotic fight in like every sense of the word. Like it only takes 2 or 3 images to see a huge difference between Rathalos and Guardian Arkveld. So I think Rathalos is almost not safer. It was,
yeah, I would choose safer. I would say safe. It's the safe option.
I think actually, I guess kind of, because like if your fight's going to be just a bunch of like untelegraphed attacks and nothing else, then it almost is better that it's Rathalos and not something more epic like Nergigante, because then it's just going to be like what are you going to, like the Superman, like honestly the dive bomb is like the one big thing that Nergigante is going to have that's going to really stand out separately.
I kind of feel like how Monster Hunter handled their side was great. Like having Nursilla with, you know, the whole digitalization,
laser
everything.
beam.
Yeah, laser beams and shit. Awesome. So I feel like if Final Fantasy would have set up Rathalos as a precursor to something bigger, that would have probably been better.
That's kind of how it's worked out now, in a sense. Like, I know what you mean, like Nursilla into Omega, so Rathalos into Nergigante, like basically. Actually, another example would be, didn't the Witcher event have a setup too before the Leshen? It had like something else too.
Yeah.
I guess Behemoth
You had to
had
go.
the Kushala, didn't it? Didn't they set up with the Kushala? I mean, the Kushala is not really a
No,
Final Fantasy monster.
no, not Kashala. It was Burb. It was Burb.
It was Burb. Right.
Remember
right,
Egg?
Right. Yeah. The egg.
Egg.
Right. True. Yeah, they do setups, a lot more setups. I mean, didn't the trailer have Arkveld attacking something? I don't remember. I feel like it had him attacking something in the trailer, but I don't remember what. But either way, yeah, I understand what you mean. But either way, yeah. I mean, I'm glad they picked Arkveld. I mean, some people were, Yoshi P said like Diablos and like, you know, a handful of, I think he's almost said Diablos every single time is what he wants the most. He's like, well, I hate it the most, so I want to kill it the most. But I think that going with Arkveld or Ray Dow was really the only option. So I'm glad that they lasered in on that, literally, I guess.
I don't see how Diablos would work. Diablos is kind of
Diablos would have been like Rathalos. It would have been so similar. Like the burrowing under the ground would have been really the big thing that they would have had to laser focus on for Diablos.
Yeah, but like again, Diablos is like he's I understand what he is, but like he's more anthropomorphic than just monster.
That's like, fine. You know, it doesn't matter. That was Yoshi P's like personal favorite, but he would like if he could just pick any, that's the one he would have added. So everyone was expecting something more traditional, whereas I was expecting Arkveld. I was like, you have to use Arkveld. Like this isn't like Worlds where it's just like a more just Monster Hunter. Like this is Wild specific if they're gonna do one. So I was super glad that they picked Arkveld. I'm looking forward to it. I won't get to do it on Tuesday because I have other priorities. I'll probably do it Thursday or Friday or something like that. But I mean, listen, it's permanent content. It's cool. It'll pop up in trial roulette now, the normal mode. Don't forget that. That's a fun normal. That's a fun trial to be getting, you know? And it looks like normal mode. Did normal mode Rathalos have a cart limit? Because I don't know that Arkveld has a cart limit. Because every time I clicked through, there were a ton of
I think it did. I think it did.
Okay. I know, obviously,
there was
Stream
a way
had a cart limit.
Failed the quest.
Yeah.
But
every time in those stills I clicked through, there were dead people with like Brink. Like, so clearly they've died. They died a ton. If there is a cart limit for normal, then I don't know what it is. But either way, I'm curious to see. I mean, we have the cart here. It'd be weird if there's no cart limit, at least for the extreme version. So I will. Well, we shall see. But that's like that's only one of the few things coming on Tuesday. Real quick, Hildebrand coming on Tuesday. I actually didn't do 7.2, so I got to do both of them back to back. I'm the person who keeps asking for Hildebrand, so me not doing it was just it slipped my mind. It came out when Occult Crescent came out, if I recall. So I think I just got so hard focused on that, I just like it was just out of my mind. Then you have the Yahui, which probably going to have one of the fairy things, the ice things as a mount, the first boss from the dungeon. And then we have the big thing, Pilgrim's Traverse and Quantum. This is a very important, very, very important turning point for Final Fantasy XIV in terms of design. There's a lot of changes in Pilgrim's Traverse compared to previous deep dungeons. And it is Quantum in particular is kind of a framework for how they want to do content going forward. We've been told already that in 7.4, when we get the variant dungeon, it will have a Quantum type system in place, something similar to it, not the exact same thing, but something similar to it for the next variant, which may be why they keep not saying Criterion. They keep saying variant is coming because it's not going to be the same system, variant, Criterion, Savage. It's going to be something different than what we had the last time, which is also probably the reason why we're only getting 1 instead of 3 on top of other. I mean, there's probably other reasons, but like, that's probably another one is that they built a different system for the entire thing. And, very, very nervous because I'm not entirely sold this will be the answer that they need.
Why not?
I don't think variable difficulty is as grand of an idea in Final Fantasy XIV for getting everyone to try content as just creating more content. I'm not convinced.
We've had this discussion with Occult, and the whole Fort Tower thing.
That's
So
not the same thing. So what I mean by variable difficulty, I mean something that is dynamic like quantum, where there's quantum 15. So like you can literally do anything between 15
okay.
and 40. And the rewards
Okay.
are technically the same, but you get more of them in quantum 40. Plus, obviously, the title and the challenge for beating it. I'm not convinced that whatever you get from this style of content in 14 will be motivating enough for people to
I
do
see what
anything
you're
except
saying.
the
I see what
highest
you're
end.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's my concern about Quantum as a whole. I think it'll be great for me, but Criterion was great for me too. And we saw how that went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just because I love it because it's content, it's high end, it's new. I still laughed at its rewards the entire time, and it's not something I go back and do ever. I just wanted to get it done once. Am I going to feel that way about Quantum 40? I don't know. Maybe someone will ask me if I want to do it. It's only 4 people. It's not as much of a commitment. Not true. I do need blessings in order to actually do it. Am I going to be motivated to go grind blessings to do it again in the first place? You know, or would I rather just sell my blessings to other people who maybe do want to do it more? I don't know. I'm unconvinced. I'm not like, oh yeah, this is it. This is their answer to. No, I think I'll enjoy it. And I think the other changes we'll talk about here in a second are going to be better for everyone. But that quantum, I don't think that formula of this like variable difficulty with the blessings is the, at least not in this form. I'm not yet convinced it'll be what actually bridges that gap that they seem to think it'll bridge. Yeah. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we should probably start from the top. Pilgrim's Traverse.
The top, yeah.
You can't even do Quantum if you don't do Pilgrim's Traverse.
Right.
So, Sly, out of curiosity, what is your history with the other deep dungeons?
The only one I really cleared was the Orthos.
Orthos. Okay. I feel like a lot of people in that boat probably they probably didn't do, they probably skipped Heaven on High or didn't ever clear it to the end. Orthos, probably the most approachable, most fun to do the floor 99 boss as well. I think Excalibur was a great boss on floor 99. But what are so you didn't even try with the other ones, or it's just like that's what I want to get. Like how much?
Oh no, I tried with Palace of the Dead, and had a really great run, got pissed. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing this shit again. Heaven on High, it's just I kind of forgot about it. It was like I did runs and then other shit came out. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Heaven on High. I never fucking finished that. So now when you say, are you meaning solo or group? Or
I mean
both?
at all, because the thing we're trying to assess is how interested people will be doing it in the first place. Not about doing it solo. It's the solo people will always do it. Like,
there's always going to be interest for solo.
Yeah. Like I know there was a lot less solo interest in Orthos. It wasn't as fun to do. So there's a lot of concern about that here. There were like some things that were fun. I think scorers enjoyed Orthos.
Yeah, and again, that's probably the main reason for solo runs is just like to get the high score, to get on the leaderboard. For me, for solo, it's just basically completion. Like I just want it done.
Yeah, I'm the same
I
way.
don't give a shit about score. I don't give a shit about score. I just want to just do a solo run. Say, hey, I did a solo run.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement on that. I'm definitely not. You're never going to catch me scoring. That's why I never finished my Orthos solo. I never did it. I got bored. I got bored. I did 4 clears to get the mount, and then I was like, I'm going to start a solo, and I was like, this sucks. It's so boring. It's more boring than the other than early Palace of the Dead. Kill me. No, don't kill me. I have to start over. Yeah, it was really bad. And it's made it. It's definitely. How do I put this? When Final Fantasy VIII came out, it was building off the hype of Final Fantasy VII. But when 9 came out, while it is a lot of people's favorites, 8 didn't carry that same level of traction. That sort of lack of traction is is kind of how I feel for Pilgrim's Traverse. As much as I want to be excited, I'm already thinking about Quantum and not about Pilgrim's Traverse in any capacity. But I'm hoping that changes as I'm doing it because, it does look like it's going to be a lot of fun. I do like some of the changes that we've seen. But I'm just not sure the interest will be there fundamentally. And that's going to come into play with something really important later on when we get to talking about Quantum. So, Pilgrim's Traverse, 100 floors, just like the last few. You can solo, you can up to 4 people. The base rules still kind of the same. Kill monsters, open the floors, whatever. Go to the next floor. Work your way up. Boss every 10 floors. Boss on the 99th floor. Everyone liked that from Eureka Orthos, so good call. Changes. Yeah. There's now checkpoints at floor 50 and floor 70. Yeah. And you can use those checkpoints regardless if you've wiped before. So if you wipe on 99, you just have to go back to 70. You don't have to go back to 1 or 30. Or 1 or 21 to 30. So yeah, there's the checkpoints at 1 and 21 are still there. But now there's checkpoints at 31, 51, and 71. That's what I want to say. Yeah, 31, 51, 71. And so that's supposed to make it more approachable for everyone. They don't feel like they have to do a crazy long time investment. They don't feel like they lose as much time if they decide they want to give it a shot, whether that's solo or with a group of friends. There's also some new features inside. On top of that, they have that like Gamba thing that only gives you positive effects up until floor 30, but then afterwards can give you negative effects. So it becomes a risk-reward style option for you to take while you're in there. Accursed Hordes are back, but the Blessed Horde is now here as well. And the Blessed Horde is gotten from 2 methods. One is from, well, I guess technically 3 methods.
3, yeah.
Yeah. They're adding challenge logs to Pilgrim's Traverse for reaching certain floors. There's Blessed Hordes from the later floors. And then you can also get Blessed Hordes from the floor 99 practice boss. When you get to floor 99 for the first time, you'll unlock a practice version of the boss to fight in its own instance. So you can practice there, clear it there, and then go back and do floor 71 to 100 and get it right the second time. So trying to ease that like burden of trying to that final floor jitters by giving you a better way of practicing it. And then from Quantum. And from Quantum, the more offerings you use, the more Blessed Hordes you get as well. And that is where my largest concern lies, is in the Blessed Horde. Because...
How so?
The Blessed Horde is the crux of the reward structure. I am unconvinced that the Blessed Horde will be rewarding enough to motivate players to do any of the activities that it rewards any more than a single time. If you're going to do the challenge log, for example, are you really going to do a 71 to 100 run for your weekly challenge log every week or any week even? Are you seriously going to be doing Quantum semi-frequently? The blessings that you need to do Quantum have to be farmed inside of the deep dungeon. Are you going to do the deep dungeon enough to get more blessings? And if you do get blessings, why wouldn't you just sell the blessings to the people who do want to do it? Which, if I'm, my concern is that not a lot of people are, versus using them to do the fight with any sort of frequency. It's this entire farm blessing to do Quantum past the first time. The first time you do Quantum, they give you 40 tokens. So you can go right into Quantum 40 if you want to. Or you could do a lesser one and then farm the other blessings or buy the other blessings later. What is in the Blessed Horde that anybody cares enough about to engage in this gameplay loop? That is literally the crux of the concern.
One quick side note before we get back to that. For Quantum, because it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Quantum, will it be using Aetherpool or just straight anything that
it will be using Aetherpool. It will be using Aetherpool.
Okay, so it's just strictly Aetherpool. It's not any other weapon that you have. It's Aether. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you will also want 99 Aetherpool for Quantum 40. Obviously.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Which then also means that you'd have to, if you want the Aetherpool to get the other weapons, you are subsequently putting yourself back slightly for quantum farming.
Yeah.
Which I honestly, we'll talk about it in a second. I've done the updated Palace of the Dead. I'm not that concerned. I have a feeling that getting Ether Pool here is not going to be hard. It'll be harder than it is in Palace of the Dead currently, but I sincerely doubt that it will be nearly as bad as farming Ether Pool in Heaven on High or Eureka Orthos.
You sure?
I'll talk about it in a little bit. I think they have an idea.
Okay.
I think they know. I think they know that nobody wants to. No one wants Ether Pool farming to be a pain. Like, I do think it'll be slower than New Palace of the Dead. I just think it'll be a little faster than it has been historically.
Okay.
When I tell you how fast it is in Palace of the Dead, you'll understand why. It's changed a lot.
Okay.
It's way different than it was before. But yeah, like, what could possibly be in those hordes that makes someone want to engage in this gameplay loop? I just don't see it. I don't think there's anything they could put in there that makes people, average players, motivate. Even higher tier players that like do more serious
We've been
content.
motivated by less.
Not really.
I mean, what's the one thing I can compare it to? Occult Crescent, treasure farming. Like, if there's something
there's
of
more
value,
motivation to do that. I think that honestly, at the end of the day, that will be more motivating than doing the classic horde.
Yeah, like if there is something of value that will possibly affect the economy, meaning you could put it on the market board and maybe make $1 or $2 or $1 million, then yes, I'd say that at the end of the day, sure. If you want some money. Sure.
So here's the thing. Using your Occult Crescent example, Slide, what is the single most valuable item from Occult Crescent?
Carrots.
The carrots are blessings. Why wouldn't you just sell the blessing instead of doing quantum? And then but exactly the same thing happens. Only very few people end up wanting the blessings. The carrots were like 4, I don't know what they're up to now. They were 4 million gil. The only reason to buy a carrot is to hunt an achievement.
Yeah.
I don't think that works here for quantum because
again, that's why I'm saying people have been motivated for less.
But it's so few people. That's why they're 4 million gil. That's my point, is that the carrots are effectively blessings in this case, where people don't see the carrot as an item of value because it provides another item of value. They see it as an item of value because they're hunting something specific, which is a title and an achievement. The Blessed Horde is not strictly available from quantum. It is from several different activities. So you don't even need the blessing to get into quantum to get the Blessed Horde. So that system kind of falls apart even more so when you start kind of breaking it down piece by piece. So what I think is going to happen is people will want to sell blessings because they don't want to do quantum. And there will be nobody buying blessings. And so that market will crash. And the Blessed Hordes aren't going to have enough people doing quantum or even doing the weekly challenge log to the point where a very select few people are even going to remotely be able to benefit from it, which sounds great if you want to make gil, but we want this to be something that players desire playing in Final Fantasy XIV. We want people to want
and that's going to be there regardless. That's going to be there regardless, I think.
I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be enough people that regularly want to engage with Pilgrim's Traverse and or quantum to warrant this reward structure. I'm not, let me rephrase. I'm not optimistic.
Okay.
I think that I'll enjoy it. And honestly, while it's meant to be variable content, outside of some people really like it, I'm assuming Pilgrim's Traverse will be pretty popular for leveling. Floors 21 to 30 especially.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've seen that it's not like Eureka Orthos where the monsters are atrociously slow to kill. We've already seen footage. We know that they're balanced more like Heaven on High and Palace of the Dead, which was great because those were literally leveling cornerstones for people. Massive spam when it came to both of those activities just for that. But for anything beyond floor 30, I'm not optimistic that it'll be anyone but soloers and people who just like do ultimate like Quantum 40. Like I think it's literally soloers and Quantum 40 players and nothing else doing anything above floor 30. And so I don't see a reason to be optimistic about it. As much fun as I'm expecting to have, and I expect some other people will have, I see it being like Criterion, where everyone who does want to do it goes in, gets it done, maybe does Savage once, and then, doesn't do it again. Because everyone's going to need to have, it's not like one person can provide 40 blessings and then you can be like, oh, we'll help you get your clear. No, you got to go get 40 blessings. Well, actually, that's not true. I think if you don't have 40 blessings, you can't get any loot. That might not be, I got to go back and look. I might be wrong about that. I don't remember. I think you actually just need to have the amount of blessings in order to open the chest. So you can actually help. So forego that point. But is that going to be enough for people? And then is that one person only ever going to do it the one time, or are they going to go helping others? I don't know. I don't see the whole ladder structure of this. I don't see it panning out, which then makes you question how much of an investment should they put into Quantum or a system like that for Variant? Does it make that any more desirable? And does it have any different of a reward structure?
When we're talking about Variant and we're talking about something like this, we're talking about two completely different monsters.
We are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Variant works a different type of way. And it's not like, well,
we don't know how the quantum equivalent of it's going to work.
When you're talking about both of these types of content, honestly, I think Variant less so benefits from this.
I think it depends on what the reason again, looking at Arkveld, people upset at no armor set, for example. I see a similar reaction coming to Quantum where they go, okay, but why? And then I worry about that for Variant. Could it be better?
Oh, sure. We're already worried about Variant for other reasons, like, again, your big thing, reward structure. Like, we don't know.
That's the main thing is Quantum. I'm not convinced that Quantum is in its essence even going to have the rewards in this content. But then when you go over to content that has already had a reward structure problem and it's already under that same scrutiny,
yep,
I have equal amounts of concern. Is what it kind of comes down to. Like I don't know if it's going to improve the way that people view Variant and Criterion, or however they're going to be calling it now.
Yeah, because like again, it's been an issue. It's been a long-standing issue, and I believe the devs are aware. Yeah. It's just how they will pivot in terms of the reward structure is the one concerning thing. Again, Variant and Quantum, two completely different monsters. Again, I don't know how to I really don't know outside of making Gil, which again, you said the market's going to crash. So I don't know what makes this long-standing to begin with. I think for a time, for how long should I say?
Okay.
Maybe I'm being generous. 2-ish weeks. 2-ish weeks is the relevancy, is what I would say the relevancy for Quantum would be.
See, that's a problem.
3 depending on, yeah.
I guess that's my point, is that is an inadequate amount of time for something like that to be valuable. And it doesn't matter if I enjoy it, if it's fun. Listen, again, I loved Criterion. I think it has some of the best boss design. I've got tons of positive things to say about it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many positive things I have to say about it if there's still people aren't motivated to do it fundamentally in the first place.
Well, what made Heaven on High, what made Orthos, what made House of the Dead, in my opinion, longer standing than what I think Pilgrim's Traverse will be and Quantum.
Yeah.
It's all about the journey, not the destination. It's all about the climb. They made it all about the climb. You had to climb to get back where you're going. That's what that was the thing. So they separated the climb and the destination by, yeah, you can practice the 99 boss. Good. Hey, we have this.
You said climb way too many times. I couldn't help but start laughing. All I could hear is Howling Blade in my head. When I climb in the ring. Like, sorry, I said climb way too many times.
But yeah, you have the practice boss in Union. You have Quantum. You have this really challenging boss that you can do completely separate from the actual, 1 through 99. And that kind of takes away. It kind of takes away from.
Well, it's not.
I guess the time invested.
It is the floor 99 boss. It's just a harder version of the floor 99 boss.
It's a harder version, but you're kind of taking away from the time investment of going from 1 to 99. That was the whole thing. That was always the thing. Like, you had to go through these steps to get to that person or that thing.
Yeah.
And now you're just taking it.
The thing.
Taking it away.
I think that's actually the reason why there were less people doing. I think the idea is they're trying to get people motivated to go past floor 30 by providing checkpoints, by providing practice. They're saying, hey, look, we understand that it can be a lot of time. But like, you can actually do like a shorter play session. You could do like, let's just do 31 to 50 with your group tonight. Or let me just try soloing.
And I'm okay with that. Leave that in. Leave the checkpoints in. I'm completely okay with that. Just don't take the entire purpose of the content away from it. Don't take the 0 to 99 away from it, out of the equation.
I don't think it's out of the equation. Personally, I think it's just its place in the equation has been made approachable to players who may not have had considered it before, without harming the players who are still doing it. Is I think what the main point is. Like, you still want the players who do their solo content to still do it, right? They've said, yes, we're still supporting solo. There's still achievements. We assume you'll have to have a 0 party KO count to get like the Necromancer equivalent at this point. So I think everything about the quality and the quality of life that is coming from this looks fantastic. It is only the motivation that I think I have any concern about.
Because I haven't played a lot of WoW, because like I'm outside looking in. I equate it to this, and stop me if I'm wrong. Okay, so we have Quantum.
Yeah.
We have a completely separate difficulty 99 boss. There's a practice, and then there's Quantum.
Yeah.
So you have an difficulty aside between 0 and 99. We know it kind of ramps up in difficulty every few floors. Get it, understand. I don't know how they would have done it, but I feel like you have a Mythic Plus dungeon, and you're taking the dungeon out of the Mythic Plus dungeon and going straight to the end. That's how I feel.
I don't know that it works entirely the same. I get what you mean, but like, here's the thing. You have to have been there once. You can't take it out. You can't do it without getting there.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. You do it once, and it's... What's the other thing? God, I'm trying to think. Where something's like you do it once and I don't have to do this again. I don't think what other content was. Like,
Criterion Savage?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's equatable. I think that effectively it's giving you motivation to get to 99 and then just giving you a method of making 71 to 99 more approachable. Because that's all it's really achieving. Beating the floor 99 boss separately does not count as clearing the deep dungeon. You don't unlock Quantum that way. You don't actually get the floor 100 clear item that way. So you don't actually... It's just there to save time in a future attempt to go from 71 to 99. Because you can practice the shit out of it, know it perfectly, and you get there and you're like, all right, I've done this boss. There's no nerves anymore. I've done this boss a million times. Whereas, like, for example, with Excalibur... you could get there once and then have to figure out all the mechanics. And then you had to start back from 1 or 21.
Yeah.
And do that again. And like in theory, yes, that inflates the amount of time, but I don't think they want to inflate the amount of time as much as they want to encourage more people to spend time at all doing it. Because would you rather have, I'm going to just throw a random number, would you have 1,000 people spending 100 hours doing something? Or would you rather have 10,000 people spending half that time playing if you're making a piece of content?
And I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand it.
At the very least, I think that's what their aim is. Again, Blessed Horde, I'm just not convinced the Blessed Horde is good enough to achieve that aim. This is actually a discussion that comes back to one key problem Final Fantasy XIV is not resolved to address. One that is, it's a problem only in the sense that it creates this problem. In a bubble, it sounds great on the surface, and it's something I've appreciated about 14, but it is something that makes doing content like this harder, and that is gear. Because fundamentally, gear is very simple in Final Fantasy XIV. So it's hard to motivate people with gear outside of its appearance. Because odds are you're not getting stronger in any way. You're not improving your gameplay in any way. Like, unless they added something to Variant or Palace of the Dead where the armor makes doing it again easier, which I don't think the soloers even really want personally, unless there was like a way to turn it off or it's like this challenge was specifically without it. The gear itself is fundamentally not interesting enough to motivate people to do it. Now, I like it, and a lot of people like that. There's no chase. You're not spending week after week after week not getting the thing. And, you know, or even if you do get the thing, it doesn't have like the wrong stats, you know, like you're effectively creating something where if somebody works at the thing they're doing, they will get the reward they want. But the gear is also simple for job balance purposes. And I think people are at the point where they'd be okay with that maybe not being the case anymore. To get something that's more fun instead of more safe. And so when you're trying to create a reward structure for a brand new piece of content with this horde in it that could have mounts, it could have hairstyle, it could have whatever, it's not the same as seeing a really fucking cool piece of gear that will make them feel cooler when they're playing.
So you want something sandboxy, something kind of like what Blue Mage is like. You know, you can just have fun. Essentially,
Blue
you can
Mage,
like it's
more like, I guess WoW trinkets are probably the best example to pull. Like a WoW trinket could be like every time you cast whatever healing, you know, circle of healing, there's a chance that the circle will become a circle of death and increase your Shadow Priest damage by 10%. Like something like that. I don't know. I'm just making some shit up. But
yeah,
it's something like that. Something that fundamentally makes you look at the way that you're playing and go, oh, I can do that differently now. While I have this item, I can do that differently. And in a way, that's kind of what's achieved by exploration content. They do that by giving us bonus actions. And a lot of the ways people interact, those bonus actions can change the way they use their default skills. It doesn't like fundamentally change them, but it changes the way that they consider actually playing their job at a base level. It's why they were pretty popular, especially in Bozia, where they had a really big impact on that kind of stuff. Eureka does too, but I think Bozia probably had the most impact because of how flexible the system was. And that's, I think people really want that. They want to feel like there's a place in the game where they aren't just playing the same exact way. And that can be achieved in a number of ways, but that might be something they want to consider. It's just a matter of how much are they willing to upset balance in more places of the game to do it in more places, or how much they are willing to kind of explore outside of their comfort zone as a whole in order to do that.
I'll admit, like, the game does have like a lot of room to do some sandboxy shit. There is a lot of room. It's just there's just like you said, there's just a balance of, you know, when is it too sandboxy where it it shouldn't. Okay, on paper, like the sandboxy elements should not affect the base game whatsoever. Like,
Yeah. That's the
no.
thing. Is like creating
Mhm.
content islands is probably the strongest place 14 can do this instead of doing things that change how you play in like a dungeon and raid and trial. Like all that stuff
Yeah.
should probably remain very simple and very approachable gear wise. It's about creating,
Right.
as you've said, sandboxy content islands that, again, great example, Eureka and Bozia. While the benefits from those rewards are very simple, the combination of like the haste from Bozia on top of the skills you could take created really unique experiences. Like being able to do a 24 player raid in 12 minutes by massively zerging and working together with a bunch of players in a very specific way with taking certain actions that make you stronger and let you buff allies in ways that you couldn't do otherwise. You know, someone taking Dervish, someone taking, whatever it was called, a Flare Star, for example. Like, okay, you're our Flare Star, you're our Dervish person, like, but you only do that in content in other places. I think that that's their middle ground to find where they can make getting gear more exciting for the thing that you are already doing. Versus what some people want, like, for example, from, I guess, Omega. Let's say from Omega, let's say you get an earring, right? And that earring reads, whenever you use any of your base weapon skills on Monk, occasionally summon a rocket fist to punch the boss. But see, you laughed, but that's because it sounds like a funny idea, right? Like, but like that would be like a part of your fucking like job in that tier, for example. Like, we're not talking about a content island. Like, some people want that, where like that's what the rewards are like from the raids, and then you use those in the raids. But it's a matter of, are they even just willing to do that in content islands and take more risks with the gear there to make them more exciting? And then how much of that would even translate to the rest of the game? And I don't know if there's like a safe way to do both, but I think that's the kind of thing, is when you create this brand new content like Quantum, just making it mounts, minions, or title, that only works so many times, I feel like. That's the concern. That is literally why I'm concerned about the Blessed Horde just not being good enough. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. I'm not saying I'm right about this.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's my concern.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Like, no, honestly, it's a valid concern. And again, it opens up to, Criterion, whatever variant, whatever it's called, and past that, future content. Essentially the carrot on the stick.
Yeah. Thank you, Occult Crescent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of why I'm weirdly more excited for Beastmaster. They said they're doing a lot of different things gameplay wise there. Like, they have like entire systems that they had to build. Now that could just mean it's like blue. A lot of people are resigned to think Beastmaster is just going to be literally Blue Mage. Like, fundamentally the same.
I'm resigned in that.
I don't think it will be. I think that I don't think it's going to be you just equip your creatures and then you effectively use a skill and it's like using a Blue Mage skill. I think there's going to be something else to it. I think there's going to be something more pet-esque involved with it.
We'll see.
I don't think it'll be. I want it to just be Pokemon, but I don't think it will be.
No.
Let's see you try it, Nintendo. Try.
I was thinking the same thing. As long as we don't use any orb-based, capturing, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Listen, that thing was super not overblown, but like it wasn't nearly as wide language as some were afraid it was. So yeah. I know it doesn't sound like I'm that excited about it because it sounds like I'm raining on the parade before it gets here. I just want other people to want to enjoy it. And I know what other people
That's fair.
I'm motivated by trying something that is brand new and experiencing and getting through it. I am motivated by
Agreed.
that. But I'm only motivated to do it once by that.
Because it can only be new once.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I want people to both be motivated to even do it once and to do it more than once.
Like I'm of the opinion of like, okay, I'll try anything once, you know, good or bad. And if it sticks, great. I'll keep doing it. If not, you know, there's other shit I can do.
Yeah, but I just want to win. I just want a win. Because like I've enjoyed most of everything I've done in Dawn Trail so far, but I've done most of it once. Same with Endwalker. It's been the thing with Endwalker. Like I loved Criterion. You will hear me. If you start asking me about Criterion, I'll be like, yo, some of the best bosses came from that. I love the tripwires. Hamster was so much fun. You know, the last boss.
But you only progged it and did it
once. I've done regular Criterion a handful of times. Savage, I think the only Savage I've done more than once is Mount Rockon, which doesn't even have weapons because it didn't have fucking rewards. So I have 2 Rockon Savage clears for that for no fucking reason. Well, it was a reason. I was trialing someone for a raid team, but you know, that's it. I don't know. It's. I'm just curious. I just want to see how it pans out. I plan to have fun with it. Frosty's planning on doing a little like double World Prog thing for both Arkveld and for Pilgrim's Traverse. Well, he's doing like Pilgrim's Traverse solo, Pilgrim's Traverse group, Quantum 40. Like all that's being featured on Tuesday. But and thank God he's doing that. But I also I'm just gonna have fun. So I'm just gonna do my best. I'm just gonna have fun. Yeah. I have my crew ready. I have a plan depending on how Etherpool acquisition is. And that's the last thing I want to touch upon. I actually want to go to the gym in like 15 minutes. So I'm going to do this point quick.
Okay.
Etherpool and Palace of the Dead. They changed it recently. It is so fucking easy now. You get crazy amounts of Etherpool from Silver Chest. And every boss from floor 50 onward gives you plus 10. So I got to 55, 52 before floor 30. I got to like 55, 52. And then that if you're over 50, you're guaranteed to be 99 by the time you get to floor 100 because you get plus 10 from the bosses all along the way. So it's like crazy quick to get Etherpool now. And I don't think it'll be that easy.
And
for Pilgrim.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that the system? Yeah, is that going to be the system for Pilgrim's Traverse, or is that just a, you know, backdated system that, you know, they kind of improved just to kind of let you, you know, get to your Aetherpool faster because it's old content?
It's because it's old content and because Palace Floor 50 is required for Pilgrim's Traverse, which is still something I fundamentally disagree with. So they needed to make it easier to get through Floor 50, and that's an easy way to do it. But the fact that that also continues to floor 100 is a nice thing as well. I just think they understand that Etherpool farming is not one of the fun things, and it's a roadblock. So I think that the average acquisition of Etherpool will be a little bit higher in Pilgrim's Traverse than it was in previous iterations. Like not plus 10 from some of the later bosses, maybe plus one from every boss from 30 upward, maybe plus 3 from the higher bosses. Silver chests will probably burn bright a little bit more, which gives you plus 2 or plus 3. That's what I think. I think you're just going to see a lot less just plus 1+1s and more straight up like plus 2s, plus 3s, plus 5. So when you do get a jump, you get a considerable jump and not, you know, 1 point or no points on the earlier floors if your Etherpool is high enough. That's it. But hopefully everything turns out good. I'll be up early. I'll be racing all day. I'm looking forward to it because I love content.
Content to respect.
And Blue Protocol comes out October 9th, so I really got to hurry my fucking ass up.
Oh, boy.
I saw that date and I was like, you motherfuckers, you fucking assholes.
Oh boy.
It's time gated on release anyway. Like, you know, you can only unlock so much story like per thing. It's a very normal thing for Chinese MMOs. You know, Final Fantasy 14 Mobile did it too on launch. Yeah. But fuck you for releasing October 9th. But thank you for actually releasing Blue Protocol finally. The beta was great.
Yeah.
One major concern monetization-wise for it, but the beta was a lot of fun, so.
Never got into it.
I can totally see why. I don't blame anyone for not being into it. Trust me. It's I would not blindly trust an MMO that has any form of, free to play monetization. It's a perfectly valid thing. But it was fun. So I'm hoping to enjoy that as well. It's just what I needed. Another release in October.
Of course. And then,
dude, have you seen March? Have you seen March for next year already? It's
next year. Oh my God. And right before March, it's just like the bordering of March because, Resident Evil 9.
Yeah, it was like February. It was the last day of February, wasn't it?
Yeah, February 27th, I want to say, or 26th, yeah.
I was like, please don't be March. And I saw February, and I was like, yes. And I saw the end, and I was like, might as well just be March. Yep. It's kind of like how Tactics released last day of September. It's like, this is basically October. Mm-hmm. That was one other topic we can speed through. Them outfits are way too expensive. They're the normal price, but it's more than the cost of we've got a new measurement for microtransaction costs. Microtransaction and
What's
DLC.
up?
It is how many copies of Silksong could you buy? So for example, Kingdom Hearts 3 and its DLC combined is 5 copies of Silksong. This is 3 copies of Silksong and some change for these outfits. So now that it's out, we can say it. We can use it. We can keep it in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So 3 plus some copies of Silksong for a Ramza, Ramza, Alma, and Gefgarian outfit. And then there's like the Orchestrians. There's 5 Orchestrians for the price like $15. Not happening. Listen, I get that Yoshi P's afraid of the lady in charge of the cash shop.
I'd be too.
He got to talk to her about something, man. Because I get also they were already doing whatever for for Monster Hunter that was coming up. They couldn't really do something big for Tactics, but I don't know if that was the answer because I don't think that really excites people nearly as much as they expect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was not good. That was not good. If I get a chance to ask Yoshi P some questions at any point in the future, I'm going to be like, so the cash shop.
I feel like that would be a bomb-ass fan fest panel if they just bring the cash shop lady answer questions.
I don't know if it would be a great. I mean, I think people would just.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting to say the least.
Well, to answer a question. We've been told the cash shop does exclusively fund 14 in the past. I don't believe it.
Yes.
But we have been told that those funds, we were told when the cash shop was initially unveiled that it was a source of revenue that was solely reinvested into 14. I don't believe that for a second, especially since it's been over 10 years since we were told that. But, that is what was said.
I like to think the art for the cash shop lady would just be her, and it's just like the final room of the treasure dungeon that's like all gold and shit.
I was thinking more like, you ever watch Judge Judy?
Yeah.
I imagine she's got that same energy about her. Judge Judith Shineland. It's just Rowena. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The landlady and Kung Fu Hustle, all same energy. Honestly, Judge Judy and that lady, actually different environments, but similar energy.
Same energy. Yeah.
Same energy, like, I'm the motherfucking boss in this place, all right? Okay. All right. Well, I think that is a good place to wrap for this week's show. Now, Sly, you won't be here next week.
Tuesday? I'll leave Thursday.
Sly, I'm not doing a show on Tuesday when the day it comes out.
Okay, that's fine.
So Sly, I think it's about time to write a ship. I've been saying it for years. You have technically done more State of the Realms than me.
Oh my God.
I think it's time I find a guest and do one without you to even out the fucking score.
That is fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I don't think I want to wait 2 weeks to talk about. Now, to be fair, if Quantum's actually that hard, I will skip. I think that's also.
I don't think it'll be. I don't
think it will be
that
either. But I will say
Yeah.
that Quantum 40 does actually take that long. Obviously, no show next week. If it doesn't, I will probably just ask the group members that I'm doing it with to do a show. That's Whoops, Keo, and Biff. So
that's a good show.
I think that's a good show. So one of those two things is happening next week. Sly will not be here for it, though. He has a trip to Texas.
Texas.
But I'm glad we finally got to do a show. I'm glad we had a quick discussion, a little bit of reservations about some things. And, hopefully we'll be proven wrong.
We'll see how it plays out.
We'll see how it plays out. That's going to be a wrap for this week's show. Sly, outro time.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sly. I do stream. Yes, I do stream.
Shit, really?
Yeah, I know. Fuck. You can find me on twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly, aka Gray Fox. YouTube.com/The Velvet Room. Whenever I decide to stream there. Again, just been enjoying the fuck out of Hades 2. Few races on Sonic Cross Worlds whenever we do those. Tomorrow is first Saturday. We are doing an event called Monster Stomp. We usually do this every year for the first Saturday in October. So, it's all Halloween-ish. But this time we're doing something different. It's not going to be at the FC house. We're doing it live at Hawk Manor on Behemoth. So we're literally partying with monsters. They're level 31. So if you're leveled, you're fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Just
everyone get your hawks out.
Just come in whatever costume or glam you want to. There will be a costume contest, yada yada yada, and just a good time, just partying with monsters. Next week I will be in Texas for OniCon. If you are going, hopefully I will see you there. I will do one day of Pilgrim's Traverse and then see where it goes.
Sounds good.
And Haps, what are you up to?
Tactics. Loving it. The voice acting is great. 10 out of 10. Buy it, please. I want them to make A1 and A2 because I've never played them. And I would like to play remade / remastered / enhanced, whatever they're calling it, versions. And they said if Tactics sells well enough, that's what they'll do. And it's great. I've been enjoying it. I don't miss any of the War of the Lions stuff. The added dialogues and the script have all been fantastic. So recommend. I'm going to TwitchCon this month as well. So I will be away for a few days. I might do some streaming while I'm there, but not anything too major. Pilgrim's Traverse on Tuesday. Blue Protocol is a couple days after that, but I probably won't get to it right away. Like I said, still Stay in the Realm next week. And then there's some other stuff happening in October, but right now I'm just focused on those things. And that's what I'm doing. But that's going to be a wrap for this week's show. Thanks everyone for watching. Be a reminder that this is available in audio format. Again, I did finally get that fixed, so they are being uploaded to audio format, and all episodes that weren't uploaded to audio format were also uploaded to audio format. Thanks to our sponsor, SteelSeries, !SteelSeries in the Twitch chat. It's in the description on YouTube, or at least it should be on YouTube now. And 12% discount year round. And I do have something planned for them in the near future, so keep an eye on that. And then also, thanks to the sponsors over on Patreon for supporting. Thanks. We don't paywall any content, so anyone who's over there, we appreciate it. But I gotta get going. I got to get to be at the gym in I'm going to the gym in like 5 minutes. So we're going to do literally like a 20-second post show, and then I'm going to be out the door. But Sly, enjoy your trip to OniCon. Enjoy your trip to Texas. Make sure you eat some good foods that you can't have anywhere. Anything you don't have over in North Carolina, be sure to get them over in Texas.
Texas barbecue, but okay.
Some Texas barbecue. That's what I'm talking about right there. Get a 64-ounce steak for the both of us. Definitely make sure 128-ounce steak even. And I will see you most likely next week. And if not, I'll see you in Pilgrim's Traverse and Quantum. We'll be streaming it all week as well. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. And until then, bye-bye.
See you soon.